Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different and I want to talk to you all about motivation. I'm going to refer to some notes that I've made on my phone, so if you see me looking down at my phone, please don't, I'm not being rude, I'm not texting. It was my intention from the offset that I was going to create a really fun motivation style video, kind of the same theme as my video on 8 reasons why you're not losing weight. So I wanted to do something a little bit fun, but just wanted to sit down and just talk with you and have a real conversation. I'm known for going off on tangents, hoping this video doesn't go sort of Tim Burton, Willy Wonka-esque tangent. So I'm going to try and rein myself in, but I've just got to get all these thoughts out of my head because it's making me mad. Before we really get into the nuts and bolts of this video, I just want to frame it. So first up, if you are watching this video, the chances are you're a client of mine, so you're already doing all the stuff that I'm going to be talking about in this video, and you're doing it well and with the largest degree of success. Or, on the other hand, if the stars have collided and somehow I've managed to work some sort of magic that is the YouTube algorithm, you've actually put into your search engine for advice on getting motivation. So that's really keep it specifically about motivation and about being motivated for changing your body. I am a personal trainer and nutrition coach. Key thing that I really work with people on is on their weight loss and weight maintenance goals. So that is what we're going to keep within the framework of this video. Weight loss and getting motivated to put yourself in a position for losing weight. I truly believe in seasons of life. So sometimes we are just not in the season where we can implement a change. Perhaps you're going through a divorce, perhaps you've just had a bereavement, perhaps you've got a huge career change, perhaps you've just had a baby. There are so many reasons why you might be not in the season of your life where you can elicit a change, which is fine. I'm going to presume if you're watching this video, you are in that season, so let's get to the point. You're approaching motivation all wrong. I'm always told I just need to find the motivation. I just need to wait for motivation to turn up before I can make a change. I'm sure you will have even found yourself at some point in your life going, I just need to feel motivated and then I could do this. Waiting for motivation is a myth. It's a lie. It's never going to show up if you sit there and wait for it. Motivation is something that is generated. It's not something that just comes down from the sky and hits you with one day. Motivation comes off of the back of momentum, and momentum comes from being in a state of action. Imagine that you woke up in the body of your dreams. I don't know what your dream body looks like, but I'm going to describe my dream body. So my dream body is one that feels energized, one that is free of illness, one that is free of disease, one that is lean, visible abs showing. I very much like a physique model type composition. Maybe your dream body is just something that's really slim, fits into a nice size 10, feels comfortable in your clothes, feels energized, you're confident in yourself. Whatever that dream body is, let's say that one day you wake up in that body. How long do you think you would keep that body living your life as you are currently doing so? Like all the habits, how you eat the foods that you're eating, the emphasis you put on sleep, how much water you drink, how much exercise and activity you put into your life. How long do you think you would keep that ideal body? We're already coming into the idea that habit is something that is actually so much more important than motivation. I also want to bring to the conversation the subject of looking and seeking for a motivator, because a lot of the time people book me and they expect that I'm going to be their motivator, and I tell you what, sweethearts, that's not my job. I cannot motivate anybody to do anything that they don't want to do or that they are not going to step up to the plate and do for themselves. My job is to show my client new ways of being, help them implement new practices, teach them about movement, about food in an unbiased way, give them every tool in my tool belt to ensure their success. That is where my job starts and stops. I will make sure that my clients are set up with every tool possible to make sure that they can hit their goals, whatever the goals may be. But that being said, I am a massive cheerleader, and there will be nobody who will be cheering for you harder from the sidelines than me. I believe that anybody can get their heads, their minds and their bodies in gear to make a change. We're not looking for the cure of cancer here. We're looking at dropping a few pounds and feeling a bit better about themselves. It isn't that difficult when you get a few things in line. I kind of want to share with you why this has been on my mind so much. Basically, you might hear at the moment I haven't been very well. For the past sort of 2 weeks, I've had this virus thing that's come around. It's been like flu-like symptoms, fever. My defences have been completely down, and I've been really taking stock of my business, and I've been reaching out to get some business advice because I'm very much bringing my work much more online rather than just being one-to-one with my clients in a gym setting or in my consultation room. I have been really seeking advice for growing that business and really getting on board of reaching a bigger platform so I could help more people I want to serve. And one of the things that's been happening whilst my defences have been low, my hackles have been going up towards some of the business advice that I've been getting, and the whole idea was that everything needs to be bite-sized, everything needs to be really quick and easy, everything has to slot into people's lives, everything has to be quick, accessible. So all these little hot tip words have been flying at me, and I've actually been feeling quite backed into the corner with them because I've been thinking to myself, but that's the problem. This is the problem. People are looking for these short-term answers, these quick fixes that can fit into their lives, whereas actually often the lifestyle and habits in that lifestyle need to be addressed, and that isn't a quick fix thing. It's very, very simple to make habit changes. It's just not easy. It's not easy to do because you've got to get your head around it. These things take time and they take practice, and there is no quick fixes and quick tips. So I've really been thinking about it as I've been ill and really trying to work on my conviction of, no, do you know what, I'm not going to go down that route with my business. I am not going to be another online coach that is going to eat lots of poke bowls, tell everybody that I'm working out for like 10 minutes once a week, and I can live my life exactly as it is, making series of bad choices that aren't in line with my goals, and tell you that you can do this. You can't. We have to look at making some changes, and the first thing we need to do is look at motivation. So I've already told you that motivation and how you're going about getting motivation isn't working. Sitting there and waiting for it isn't going to work. So I would like to share with you my top tips for inviting motivation to turn up to the party. Tip number 1, get honest with yourself. Where are you in your life right now? Where are you with your habits? How many times have you been on a diet? How many times have you failed at a diet? How many times do you start an exercise program and then don't stick to it? Why are you not sticking to these things? The 2 things that really need to be addressed are, do you actually know how to do it? Can you do it on your own? You know, I'm self-employed, I do all my own accounts and stuff like that, but the fact of the matter is when it comes to doing things like my tax return and knowing what allowances that I have and what I can put through my books and what I can't and how much I should pay and whether I need to be VAT registered and all this stuff, I don't know how to do any of that. I've hired an accountant, somebody to guide me, because I can't do that for myself. I have to be real with myself. This is not where my passion lies, it's not something that comes naturally to me, so therefore I need to make the job of outsourcing to find somebody who can do this for me. Get interested. Truly get interested in the subject of looking after yourself. 9 times out of 10, the people that I work with have not got a single clue about the actual fundamentals of nutrition. They don't truly understand what a calorie is. They don't truly understand what the metabolism is. They don't truly understand what the macronutrients are. They don't truly understand how food actually works. And I'm going to tell you a little secret here. It's not that hard. Okay, so science is difficult. Nutritional sciences is a complex and very multifaceted subject, but you don't need to know that much in order to see a long-lasting, consistent change to your body. We need to look at the scientific principles and facts of nutrition and not just getting our advice from fitness magazines and from our fat friends who don't have a clue. I know that sounds harsh, I know that sounds rude, but how many times do we take on the advice of people who are overweight, who have just started a new diet, you're seeing them losing weight quickly, so you're going to jump on that bandwagon? It doesn't work. It works if you take interest. There are plenty of coaches out there who could run circles around me with their nutritional knowledge. But I know the fundamental principles well. I know how to make them accessible. I know how to implement them into people's lives, and I know how to educate people around that. And that is what you need to know. So you've got to get interested in it. Stop telling yourself that you haven't got time to learn this and you just need to be told what to do. You need to hire somebody who's going to not only help show you what to do, but why to do it as well, and to teach you to fish for yourself. Do not go on another 30-day detox of drinking some sort of carpet cleaner or whatever in the hopes that this is going to be the life-changing moment that you've always been waiting for. It's not. Point number 2, that actually should technically be point number 1. Perhaps I should have done this in a different order. Never mind. Point number 2, make a decision. Decide if you're going to do something about it. Do you want to make some changes? Are you actually sick of going on diet after diet and not getting anywhere? What is it that you actually want to achieve? And decide to do something about it. And your decision has to be watertight, because if it's not watertight, water will seep through and the excuses will flow in. There'll be a reason always not to do something. Make a promise and a commitment to yourself to do it no matter what. There is nothing more exhausting than waking up every day and deciding whether you're going to eat better that day, whether you're not, whether you're going to go to the gym, are you not going to go to the gym. You're trying to make so many decisions every single day, over and over and over again. You're getting decision fatigue. It's easier said than done. If you have decided you're going to do something, then that is a promise and a commitment to yourself. Would you want to make promises and commitments to your friends and constantly let them down all the time, or to your children and let them down all the time? No. Once you make a promise, then you see it through for other people. And I tell you what, you are the most important person in your life. So I really highly suggest making a decision and sticking to it. Airtight decision making. Stop telling yourself that you don't have time to do this. Just stop it. It's really, really boring. This is the biggest granddaddy of all excuses. It's like, really, Susan? You don't have time to do 30 minutes of exercise, but you have got time to do 30 different diets over the next 30 years and cry about it 30 times a day that it's not working. Really? See what I mean about being boring? How often do we do this? It's just about reevaluating where you want to spend your time. You have got to make time. We all have time for anything we make a priority in our life. There will be things in your life that you'll be doing regardless of how short a time you've got, because you've made it your priority. You have got to make your goal, your promise and your commitment to yourself at the very forefront of your mind. It needs to seep into every element of your life. You've got to be obsessed about it. You have to want this, and not only want it, but do it. It is your priority. If you don't, you'll fail. If you use the excuse, I don't have time to insert this caption, cook food for myself, get a little bit of exercise, hit the sack a bit earlier, drink a bit of water, then you haven't made an airtight decision. You are never going to magically find that there's going to be more time in your day ever. We are all incredibly busy people. We have all got careers that we're managing. We have all got commutes and families and children and houses to run and 1,001 chores all the time. So you are never going to find that time in your life where you will have more time. Even when you're retired, the chances are you're not going to have time there because you're going to be roped into doing grandparent duties. Point number 4, stop waiting to feel like doing this. You're never going to feel like it. Your life will be filled with doing things that you don't feel like doing, but you do them anyway because it's just part of your setup and it's part of what you are. I have never met a mother that wanted to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to feed her child after 30 seconds consecutive sleep, but she'll do it anyway because she knows her priority is her baby. Mums know so much about doing stuff that they do not want to do, but do it anyway. Again, I'm talking mostly to mums because I am a mum and mostly mums watch this channel. You are never ever going to feel like pushing carrot cake away when everyone's diving in. You are never going to feel like turning down that glass of wine when everyone else is joining in for one. You are never going to feel like getting to the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning because it's the only time that you've got in the middle of winter. You're never going to feel like doing any of these things. You are never going to feel like doing something different when you want to feel comforted. You're never going to want to feel uncomfortable. And actually, making changes can be just that, uncomfortable. Actually, when you start taking away our homely comforts that might not be serving us, it feels quite uncomfortable. You're never gonna want to do anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. And a degree of change is going to be uncomfortable. And there'll be never a time where you're gonna wake up in the morning one day and decide, oh, today I feel like being uncomfortable. I can manage it. It's not going to happen. Like, the next 4 points is all about habit. I can't talk more about habit because that is actually the driving force in everything, not motivation. Motivation's flaky. Habit is solid. So you have got to make sure that your daily habits are in line with your goals. You can't get upset about not being able to run a marathon if you're not doing marathon training. You can't expect to get better at squatting when you never do a leg day at the gym. You've got to make sure that whatever goal you've got set for yourself, you have got habits that you are enforcing to make sure that you are reaching that goal. The trouble is, a lot of people are waiting for proof that being uncomfortable or putting the work in is going to pay off. People want to see the results before they're willing to do the work. The matter is, you won't see those results unless you start addressing some of your habits. Habit change is key here. Stop demanding to see the results before you're doing the work. You spent 3 days on a diet and you've not lost a dress size yet? What are you doing that isn't serving you and isn't in line with your goals? Really easy ones. Perhaps you want to get nice long lean legs, but yet you do not go to the gym. The fact of the matter is, you're not going to elicit those changes unless you actually start implementing a gym program. Gone are the days where we have got our mums or a teacher or an adult in charge making decisions for us and making us do things that we don't want to do. For example, I have a toddler. He never wants to eat vegetables. He is never going to feel motivated or inspired to eat vegetables. That's my job. Trouble is, we don't have mothers nagging us anymore. It's our job as parents to make sure that our children are doing the things that they don't want to do. And this is what you've got to do for yourself. My client base, I train a lot of women who are CEOs of companies. They're business owners, they're entrepreneurs. These are people, women, high-paid women who have worked themselves up the career ladder and are at the toppest peak of their careers. I train people who've got masters, double masters, PhDs, people who have both graduated from Cambridge and Oxford. Intelligent women who have really achieved phenomenal success in their life and yet are still scared of potatoes. See where I'm going with this? The fact of the matter is, they've reached these things because they have proven to themselves that they actually can see these through. You're not going to reach these kind of levels of success by mincing about and not making decisions and not eliciting habits of study and progression and drive and educating and up-tooling. They would have had to become obsessed with where they're going in order to reach what they want. You need to do this for your health and your fitness, because all that stuff is amazing, but if you haven't got your health, if you haven't got your fitness and your energy levels, then you are nothing without it. You've got to make this important. You need to look at it as being something you can tangibly take a hold of and take charge of, like you can your careers and your children. And this leads really nicely on to point number 8, which is, once you've got your habits established, you have got to practice these habits over and over and over again. You've got to practice these new habits that are in line with your goals for yourself over and over and over again until they become so ingrained that they are who you are, they're how you show up to the world, and they're how you want to be for yourself. And at those points, that's when the really cool thing of motivation will seep in, because you will start seeing results and you'll start feeling a little bit more motivated because you're in action and because you're gaining momentum and you're going for it. You've done this before, now you've got to put all that energy into refocusing it into your health and fitness goals. Right, so I think that brings me to the end of my video. I leave you with this final point. Be a decision maker, be an action taker, don't be an excuse maker. If you can implement those points, you will start seeing results. Please do leave me a comment below if you would like to share any of your goals. Also, please leave me any comments below for any suggestions for further videos that you might like helping with, anything to do with health and fitness. I'm here for you. I want to make sure that I'm putting content out there that benefits you and benefits your lives and your goals. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this type of content. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. I look forward to seeing you all next week. Until then, be in action.